From our mics to your ears, get ready for Anime Podcaster Speed Date, the only show on the internet that takes you in depth with the creators you love or will love soon. I'm your host, Isekai Sensei-Sama, but you can call me Brad, and I'm joined by my co-host, Moxie the Yeen. Say hi, Moxie.
Hi, Moxie.
Our guest has given us a single episode of an anime that means something to them in one way or another. And Moxie and I have compiled questions from that episode that will reveal the inner workings of our guest's mind. So without further ado, I'm happy to introduce today's guest, Finn K.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I promise Moxie's registered in at least 3 states. Before we dive into the questions and learn your deepest, darkest secrets, now's your chance to give us your elevator pitch. I'll put 15 seconds on the clock.
My name is Finn K. I am a manga letterer, mainly for Viz Media. I work on Firefly Wedding, Magical Girl Dandelion, Bug Ego, Shinobi Undercover, Someone Hurts, and you might see me on some new projects soon.
Our guest has shared with us Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 5, titled Declaration of War. Attack on Titan was first a manga written and drawn by Hajime Isayama and ran in Basetsu Shonen Magazine from September 2009 to April 2021. The anime premiered in April 2013 and ran for 4 seasons until November 2023. The first 3 seasons were made by Wit Studio and the last season by MAPPA. There are also numerous other media based on Attack on Titan, from spin-off anime, novels, countless video games, live-action movies and miniseries, and even a musical stage play. It's reached colossal success and has become a well-known pillar of anime. Before we begin with the questions, Moxie will tell us a bit about this episode.
In a theatrical presentation, Willie tells the well-known story of Marley's hero, Helos, who defeated the Eldian king Fritz, securing peace for Marley at the price of Eldian's freedom. Willie then reveals it was King Fritz himself who ended the Great Titan War by fabricating the Helos myth, as he longed for peace. Believing Eldians were sinners, Fritz moved hundreds of Eldians to Paradise, built the walls, and passed his ideology down in his bloodline via his oath, keeping his successors bound to his renouncement of war, unable to use the founding Titan. Fritz warned he'd release the millions of colossal Titans in the walls, a violent rumbling that would end humanity, if Marley threatened them. Willie announces that the founding Titan was stolen by Eren Yeager, making him a threat to world peace, as he is not bound by Fritz's oath, not being of Fritz's bloodline. In the basement, Eren tells Reiner that he infiltrated Marley to save his home, and realized that Paradise and Marley are alike and that both sides are just people. Reiner breaks down, devastated about what he caused on Paradise 4 years prior. As Willie declares war on the Eldians of Paradise, Eren transforms into the Attack Titan, throwing Willie's mangled body into the air.
And with that, it's time to get started with our first round. So now let's crank up the heat. In this round, Moxie and I will take turns asking questions. All you've got to do is answer them honestly. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
The Titans that are attacking in the titular series are large creatures, most of the time menacing, that resemble normal humans with exaggerated features. What would you say is your most exaggerated feature?
Oh my god. Exaggerated. My eyes. My eyes are 2 slightly different colors. So in the right light, you can really tell. And I can make them bug out really hard. It's kind of funny.
At the start of the episode, we were warned about the content in the episode. What should people be warned about before meeting you?
Once you get past all the awkwardness, I'm a real yapper.
In this episode, many citizens are watching a propaganda stage show consisting of a monologue and vignettes. Have you ever performed on stage? And if not, would you like to?
I have. I was once called up during an emo night to sing an old Escape the Fate song, and it was horrifying, and I will never do it again. It was karaoke also, and it was just me. But it was fun, but I won't do it again.
The intro song for Season 4 of Attack on Titan is called My War. What is your war, Finn?
Aren't we all fighting one? On the inside?
This episode is framed by two intertwining stories being told, one on stage and the other in a basement. In your work, have you ever needed to balance two narratives that both fit together but are juxtaposed?
In my work? Oh man, that's a tough one. I guess somewhat. You're always picking different styles of things and what you might go for a certain series, but then if your editor says to do something else, then you just gotta roll with it. So it's a team effort in that sense.
This episode depicts a stage play. Tell us about a time you saw live theater that stuck with you.
I don't know if I've ever seen live theater, actually. You know what? I guess I can maybe say that I saw my first drag performance the other night. So that was interesting. They stood on a table and that was scary to watch, but she did a really good job. So it was very impressive.
If you had shifter powers, what would your special Titan ability be?
I want to grow 6 extra arms. So I can do many things at once and the carpal tunnel won't hit as hard.
Attack on Titan is a series I saw some of many years ago, and upon coming back to it, looked very different to me. Did you ever have a time in your life or know somebody close to you who left for a while and came back looking different?
Yeah, totally. I just recently met up with a friend that I hadn't seen in like 14 years. And we were literally children, and now we're both grown-ass adults. So definitely things change, but it was a good time. Still my good old friend.
This show deals with politics a lot, as well as family lineages and the connections between those families and nations. Does your lineage bring you pride, or would you rather leave it in the past?
My family actually has like 6 or 7 different family history books, and I haven't been able to crack through all of them, but there's some pretty not great things in there because I am a white person. So there's some stuff maybe doesn't have to come back, but you know, I'm Scottish somewhere far, far down the line, so that's kind of cool, I guess.
Due to my lack of Attack on Titan knowledge, Brad had to play Lore Master for me while watching the episode. Has there ever been a time you either had to play Lore Master to a friend on something, or somebody had to do it for you?
Most of the time, people have to do it for me. If you ask me, like, today about every single thing that happens in this episode, I'd be able to tell you, but if you ask me, like, a week from now, it's over. Nothing's getting through.
We're told that the destruction wrought by the shifters, people who turn into Titans, was done under the false pretense of saving the world. Which real-world country would you say has a savior complex, and why do you think it's the United States?
Thank God you said that, because that's exactly what I was going to say. I feel like the answer is too long, and, you know, I'm already labeled as a terrorist as it is, so maybe I should keep my words to myself only a little bit, but it's all about white supremacy.
In The Art of War, Sun Tzu said, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." What's an enemy you know and a battle you always win at?
My mother. I love her. She's not that bad, but there's some things I know not to do with her.
Aaron spends most of this episode with only a single leg. Have you ever had a time in your life that you'd describe as having no leg to stand on?
That's a funny question. Probably my entire teenage years. Honestly. Just not knowing who you are, that's kind of hard to deal with. But my legs grew later, so it worked out.
Of all anime, and more specifically just the episodes of Attack on Titan, what drew you to this episode, Declaration of War, to share with us today? What about it speaks to you?
Oh, it's so good. There's just so much lost camaraderie between Reiner and Eren. that the moment that they see each other, you can just feel the weight of their relationship. And just that alone carries so much like sadness and trauma and grief for both of them that goes totally unspoken. Even though Aaron is like, listen to this story that's happening. We are the same. It's literally just how we grew up that's different. That like interpersonal connection is what I like a lot about this episode, and just Attack on Titan in general.
With our first round down, now it's time to slow things down a bit for round 2. In the second round, we'll keep asking questions, but in a more slow and sultry way. Are you prepared?
I am prepared for your questions.
I learned people can transform into titans by watching this. What fantasy beast would you like the power to transform into at will?
Vampire. Vampire, vampire, vampire. They're traumatized, I guess. That's what I relate with. They're all traumatized. It just feels like my people. I need to be one with my people.
We see 2 shifters tricked and dropped into a hole. What celebrity would you like to be thrown in a hole with?
The first one that came to mind was Adrian Brody, who is in The Pianist. That was like one of the first movies of his that I ever saw, and I just thought it was so good. We could probably have some neat conversations.
Attack on Titan was known for its 3D maneuver gear that allowed the wearer to zip around on grappling hooks. What's a situation in your daily life you think would be improved by 3D maneuver gear?
I was gonna say transportation, but that's not even true. It's too zippy. Imagine all the times you probably throw up while you're using it. I don't know, if you need to grab something across the room, maybe that would come in handy. You can not use it to move, maybe just grab stuff with it.
The Marleyan military's uniform is heavily inspired by certain real-world military garb. What military clothes or kit would best suit your own plans for world domination?
I don't really agree with war, so probably whatever they wear in whatever they decide to make you wear in prison.
You are the letterer of manga. If you could sacrifice something to go back in time and be the letterer of Attack on Titan, what would you sacrifice and why?
It's a great question. I don't know. I don't know if I would want to do that. I feel like Attack on Titan has such a charm to it, and the font choice for all the dialogue, Imaginary Friend from Lambot, I probably wouldn't have picked that font for it, but I feel like it works, and it ages it a certain way. It's very classic feeling now, so I don't know. I don't know if I would do that.
Eren Yeager has been living undercover with a false name. Would you grow to 4 stories tall and start destroying things if people continuously called you the wrong name?
Absolutely. I feel like I do that half the time during my life already. So, if I had the ability, I'd be nicer about it though. I wouldn't just like murder kids and everything, but you know.
We have done this show 3 times before. We covered an obscure 5-minute gag anime, the final episode of Gurren Lagann, and a bird-themed Sentai Ranger show that never came to the US. All strange picks. Yet we struggled to write questions for this long-running and very popular series, Attack on Titan. Why do you think that is?
I love this show and this episode, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's probably too much. That makes it difficult to parse through and make it simple, because it's not simple.
In this episode, we find out that Falco has been tricked into aiding Eren. Do you think this mirrors our own society being tricked into aiding the wealthy and the ruling class?
That's kind of what our taxes do, so yeah, I think so.
The famous three walls of Attack on Titan are called Wall Maria, Wall Rose, and Wall Sheena. Columbus's three ships were called the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. What's a famous trio you can name?
Famous trio. I almost said the Wiggles, but that's not a trio. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. They're famous to me. Sly Cooper, the Sly Cooper gang. Sly, Bentley, and Murray.
Lord Tiber explains that the tens of millions of colossal titans that could come from the island of Paradise would bring about the end of the world. Do you think people with a foot fetish would die happy?
That is certainly a question. Probably not, because dying isn't usually part of those fetishes, I don't think. Maybe for like a second until it hits them, but they don't get to really enjoy it, so I feel bad for them.
If you were forced to cross over Attack on Titan with one of the manga series you had done lettering for, which one would you pick and describe the crossover?
Oh, wow. This feels... Oh, no. I was gonna say Duru Tribe because I was thinking about Bone Collection. But no, that's not my answer. I think it would be fun to pick Mama Yu Yu. And part of that is bias because I miss it every single day. But also, could you imagine if Titans just warped into everybody else's world and you couldn't even escape them in other people's worlds? That sets up like a whole new kind of war.
Peak is seen to be close with a military unit she works with, but causes strain within the group due to romantic interests. Have you ever needed to separate business from your home life to keep the peace?
You kind of just have to do that all the time anyway. You can't be bringing your home life to work, or else, in my experience, usually that never bodes well if you can't separate the two.
The acronym for Attack on Titan is AOT. What else could AOT stand for?
Oh my god. There's so many opportunities. This feels like a community question to see what everyone else would say too. My brain is trying to think of something totally different from Attack on Titan. Oh, I just... It's silly. I don't want this to be the answer, but I did just think of asserteds. Oh god. Okay, that could be the winning answer.
And now, a Gedanken experiment, or rather, a hypothetical question for you. You've been isekai'd into the world of Attack on Titan. You can choose any time period, but you don't get to be a shifter. Instead, you must choose 2 shifter powers that will be given to your companions. What time period and which 2 shifter powers will you choose for your best chance at survival and living a comfortable life?
Ooh. I would pick... I really like the Warhammer Titan in how they can like make hardened materials, so maybe they can make a bunch of stuff for us if we need it, and like shelter and stuff. And then I just think, I don't remember the Titan's name, but Ymir, I guess is that the Jaw Titan? I think I would pick that one just because it's so fast and it can cut through a bunch of stuff. And, you know, maybe if we have to survive, we gotta like hunt and hunt and everything, so maybe that would come kind of in handy, as crazy as it would be.
With round 2 in the bag, it's now time for our final round. This one's a little different. It's time for the quickfire round. In this round, you'll have 60 seconds to answer as many yes or no questions as you can. If you answer anything other than yes or no, the round will end. In this round, you'll be shooting for a high score against all of our other guests. Our current champion is David with 20 questions answered. So now it's time to get started. 60 seconds on the clock.
Are you for mature audiences only?
Yes.
Would you like to live in Madagascar?
No.
Do you believe we should give peace a chance?
Yes.
Are you afraid of heights?
Yes.
Do you think you could fight a Titan?
No.
Is it a glorious mission?
Yes.
If you could turn someone else into a Titan, would you?
No.
Jaw or cart?
No.
Do you feel like you're walled in life?
Yes.
Is that stage performance the breakout hit of the year?
No.
Have you read Sun Tzu's The Art of War?
No.
Bist du das Essen oder bist du der Jäger?
Yes.
Would you say Attack on Titan is one of your favorite anime?
Yes.
Are you as tired as everyone in this anime looks?
Yes.
Will you sing the show theme with us later?
Yes.
And there you have it, folks. Finn has answered a total of 15 questions. That places them in 4th. As a consolation prize, you get a choice. You can either take this pallet of bricks that have been carefully removed from a non-load bearing wall, or you can tell the audience where they can find you and what you've got going on.
If I had the whole world in my hands, I would pick both. But you can find me on most social media platforms at Matcha Finn. And usually I just talk about manga and anime and sometimes K-pop stuff.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today. We hope you had a fun time. Anime Podcaster Speed Date is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Microphone cable ties are provided in partnership with Segoima. Click the link in the description or use code APR15 at checkout to get 15% off your first order. Production is sponsored courtesy of our wonderful patrons. Subscribe so you don't miss future episodes or the other shows on the Anime Podcaster Reincarnation Network. Go to animepodcasterreincarnation.com to learn more. And with that, this has been Finn K, Moxie the Yeen, and me, Isekai Sensei-Sama. And you've just been part of a Anime Podcaster Speed Date.
Man, I almost just binged like so much more of Attack on Titan last night because even starting at like season 4, there's so much information that happens in those first 3 seasons and even like those first few episodes of season 4. That's just like I feel like I have the perfect opinion about my favorite episode. I feel like if you want to watch Attack on Titan, I feel like this episode could be a first episode of like a show. Like, it drops a lot of information that is kind of like, it could be used as like a setup, and a lot of it's also still like, how much of this is still true, and it gives you like that feeling of just like, oh my god, there's so much happening. And clearly they keep bouncing back and forth from the past to now and creating similarities between Eren and Reiner. And it's just like, I just think it's such a cool episode and there's just so much going on. Not that you should watch it first, but I feel like it almost to me feels like one of those episodes that like at the start of a TV show, they just kind of throw you in it and then they take you through the whole journey kind of thing. That's kind of what it feels like.
I watched the entirety of season 1 and I think the first episode or 2 of season 2, and then I sort of fell off of it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm a glutton for spoilers, so I know everything that happened, but
his stand is called Dare to be Stupid. He has approximate knowledge of all things.
That's awesome.
So watching this episode, like, I understood a lot of what they were talking about, but at the same time, it's just like, oh my God, this is just a complete lore dump, and it's like
Yeah.
so serious, and like, so we were just like, what are we gonna do?
I think we figured out is because the other things we did not. I mean, again, there's going to be a question related to this on when we actually start. But the other 3 things we did were like silly and over the top things. So it was just like this. I mean, honestly, this was a really good exercise. Like there is no wrong choices. I think we finally got the thing we were asking for, and then went, oh wait a minute, we've been training against the weirdest, strangest shit.
It was a
Lovingly.
Monkey's paw wish.
Yeah, very much a monkey's
we
paw
just
wish.
want
It's
a
like,
normal episode.
Here's a normal episode. Here's a very popular anime. Here's a normal episode of that anime. You got what you wanted. So
Yeah.
An episode very much in the weeds of its own story.
I would agree with that statement.
I don't normally do like podcasty stuff, so I just have a little bit of nerves. But I'm excited. So those will
We're
probably go
nervous
away.
too.
Yes.
So.
Okay, great. We're all collectively feeling it.
You and me both, brother. But yeah, we'll be fine. Once we, as we've learned with all things, once we put the boat in and we start moving, it'll be good.
But so no pressure. But if this episode goes poorly, we're never going to do this again.
You can put it all
pressure at
on
all.
me.
Yep, I got my notes.
I have no notes, but I'm ready.
That's good. I don't know what you would have notes for, so he secretly had a list of all of our questions.
That would be
somehow.
crazy.
My stand power is anytime I'm on a question show, let it be trivia. Otherwise, I know all the questions. I can auto write them out like spirit writing.
The reason this will be the last episode is because I own the podcast now.
They're not for that. Brad just needs to get his swears at them. Oh, also, you can swear. Like, I guess that should be said at the top.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't go insane. Like, duh.
Or do. I mean,
Okay, I guess I don't know. He's the producer in this one. So
You're holding me back from my real powers. Come on.
Also not in this episode at all.
No, but it seemed so important to Attack on Titan. A device known for movement to help you not move.
The conclusion that we came to is that this episode is very serious, and the other 3 that we've done have not been serious.
Very silly.
That's true.
Gotta get my anti-capitalism message in here somewhere.
Very important.
Good. It's silly. I don't want this to be the answer, but I did just think of assertids.
Yeah! You win! That was what I was thinking.
Oh, God.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
There was no right answer, but that was the right answer.
Okay, great.
Ariel or Tacoma?
Times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Is
that's
that a font? Ariel or Tacoma?
Ariel or
Like the
I thought Tacoma was a font. I mean, Brad was right.
I
Times
think
New
it
Roman
is.
makes so much more sense, but that's a lot more words.
I think Tacoma.
Isn't Tacoma a font?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless, he picked the right answer.
Okay, great.
Has anyone really been far, even as decided to use even go, want to do look more like?
Yes.
Oh fuck! That's one I should put in. I should do the would you if you could would you
If you
but you can't go too long on it because then I'm just eating time. But yeah, that's perfect. I love that.